والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين.
صدق الله العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والتين والزيتون. Allah is again starts the surah by making oath, making qasam. Surah by fig and the olive. Tin means fig, anjir. Don't know if in Urdu you say anjir as well or not. I think you said anjir, yes, Sister Ram, that tin?
Yeah, we also say anjir, sister.
Anjir, yeah?
Yeah.
Anjir.
Yeah.
So Allah is making oath by the fig and the olive, zaytun. Watur Sinin, and by the mount of Sina. That mount which is very famous because Allah spoke to Prophet Musa in that mountain. وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ, and by the secure city which means Mecca. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. After these qasams, then لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ starts. This is the answer of and the odds. Then when we move forward, we discuss that what are the reasons for these odds Allah made. And watin was zaytun, swear by fig and the olive. It is famous that these are the different cities of Sham and Palestine. Because these, for example, in Syria is very famous for olive. The product of olive is very common in Syria, and Palestine is famous for tin, for fig. And so one of the reasons Allah made qasam made oath by this fig and olive is Allah is pointing towards these cities. Why? Because they say that what the research Tadabbur has done is that because after that Allah is making oath by Tur Sinin, Mount of Sinai, so that is place. So Tin and Zaytun, Allah means the places of this product. But in another point, Tin and Zaytun, fig and olive are very famous that they are very rich food as well. And it is important in Islam that what we eat. So one of the points is that. But the main thing is that the place which is very famous for this product. And this the most important specification for these lands are that we had most of our profits in these lands, in these countries, which that those days they would not call it as country, but most of the profits they were from these areas. Allah is making us by these areas that لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Certainly we have created man in the best make and form. Allah is saying, I've created mankind in the best form which was possible. ثم رددناه في أسفل سافلين. Then we return him to the lowest of the low. We falling him to the lowest level. Means that Allah is saying that I've created mankind in the best form of creation and in the highest level of creation, and then I fall him to the lowest level. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون. Except, إلا means except. I fall mankind to the lowest level, except who? إلا الذين, except those who believe, آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات, and do righteous deeds. فلهم أجر غير ممنون. And this group, not only I don't fall them to the lowest level, but also I give them ajrun غير ممنون. غير ممنون means that it's everlasting, never ends. I give him rewards which will never end, never ending reward, never to be cut off. If we notice that by creation, mankind is in the highest level of creation between all the creation in the world. Then, for example, we have angels, then jinn, then animals, plants, and things. Allah is saying that I created mankind in the highest level of creation, but I will drop him. He can fall down to the lowest level. It means that even lower than an animal or a stone or whatever you think. So when Allah says this with emphasis, laqad, la is, we said that in Arabic, la is for emphasizing. And it means that these are the rules of Allah. So both creating in the highest level and falling down to the lowest level, both are Allah. And definitely it happens. There is no escape from it. Just there is an exception which Allah has given the formula in ayat number 6. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Okay, what is this amanu? What is this amal salihat? What is amal salih? Allah is saying that I fall them. They fall to the. I make them fall down to the lowest level, except this group, except those who use this formula. Amanu wa amilu salihat. Amanu means yes, believe. Believe to what? Believe to what Prophet brought, what was revealed for Prophet. Amal Salihat is the plan, program. Because what is deen? What is religion? Religion is a program from Allah. And Amal Salih, Amal Salihat is that program which Allah sends by Prophet through Quran and Ahlul Bayt. So Amal Salihat means a plan for your life, which has come from Allah, which Allah sent us. In Surah Qashiyah, which we studied before, we learned that there are two groups on the day of judgment. One group, وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة. Another group, وجوه يومئذ ناعمة لسعيها راضية. In Surah Qashiyah, we studied exactly what is Amal Saleh, which Allah said that there are some faces which are cast down on the day of judgment. There are some faces which are happy. Those faces which are down on the day of judgment, those are who amilatun nasibah. They are tired of what they have done. They have tried a lot in their life in this world. They have day and night they run and run for their life. But when it comes to the day of judgment, they are so tired, and when we see that there was no use for it. But those groups which وجوه يومئذ ناعمة, they have got happy face لسعيها راضية. They are happy what they have done in this world. And in Surah Qashiyah, we learn that the best plan is the plan which Allah sent, which and Allah brought examples. For example, by mentioning the creation of camel, by mentioning the creation of skies and all the details. Which, if we study the creation of camel, we went through it in details in Surah Qashiyah. So we know that what is the best program and what is the most correct program for life, which is called Amal Saleh. That's the plan which our Creator sent. Who created camel with those details? Who created this world? Who created skies with a very precise and in order? Everything is in order. If anything, any small thing changes, the world will be upside down and the result will be something else. So Allah is saying that what is Iman? Iman is we believe in that Allah has sent us the most correct plan. So the belief, if we say just, oh yes, we believe in Allah, then we say that, oh, we don't believe in Quran. So it means that we believe in a, for example, manager, but we don't believe in the programs he gave us. He gave us. That is not a belief then. That is just saying. So if we believe in Allah, we that belief is useful, which guides us that towards the plan Allah sent us, which is Amal Saleh. Because Iman comes from Amana. Amana in Arabic means security. It means that we feel sick when we have Iman to Allah. It means that we feel secure. That if we act according to His plans, to His program He sent us, we'll be secure. And that's the best path for us towards Allah and towards our destination. For example, if somebody tells us that if you invest in this business for 6 months, I promise you that your investment, you will get 10 times more than your investment profit from this business after 6 months. If we believe on what he says, we invest in it. We act according to his plans and in that business. But if we don't believe, we don't act. It's exactly the same. So if we say that yes, we believe in Allah and we don't act according to the plan Allah sent us, that means that it's not a belief. Or for example, if we go to a doctor, for example, um, when we are not feeling well and he gives us prescription, if we don't use his prescription, what's the benefit? And Allah is saying, Lahum ajrun qayru mamnoon. It's not only he doesn't fall in the lowest level, I give them everlasting reward. So in Surah 18, Allah wants to tell us that to be secure from the um, law of asfala safilin, ثم رددناه asfala safilin. This is a law of Allah that definitely mankind will fall down to the asfala safilin, to lowest degrees. And the only way is amanu wa amilu salihat. So nobody can say that no, there are lots of ways towards Allah. Allah in many ayats of Quran is telling us, and Surah 18 especially, that there is no other way to be secure from asfala safilin other than believe in Allah and act according to His plan, to His program, which He sent us, which is Sharia. What is the Amal al-Salihat? Which law Allah sent us? Laws of Sharia. So Islamic laws. So nobody can say that, oh, I believe in Allah, but I don't pay khums. I believe in Allah, and I explained in the Surah Shams. We learned in Surah Shams that people they say that we try to be a good mankind and we don't need religion. Okay, we don't lie, we don't do wrong, we don't oppress anybody, and that is enough. We don't need religion, which is very modern statement these days. We hear that no, just be a good mankind and you don't need religion. In Surah Shams, we learn that no, that's the reason they think this way, that be a good mankind and we don't need religion, is that they think as religion as the very lowest level, as the because what is religion, what is Islam, what is Sharia, what is Quran, what's the purpose of Quran? Is to get us to the highest level of mankind, to Ahsana Taqweem, where Allah created us with the pure fitrah, with the pure nature, and according to Surah Al-Shaqaq, we are going to meet Him. يا أيها الناس إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه. And we learn in Surah Al-Shaqaq that our responsibility, we have got authority to choose, and otherwise we are moving towards Allah with no choice. But what we can do and what is our mission is to choose the quality of our meeting with Allah, that we act according to plan and program, which we meet Allah in the best quality of meeting. What was the best? What was the best plan in Surah Qashiyah? We learned that it was the plan from Allah, who created all the creation. And now in Surah 18, Allah is telling us there is no other way. And I was explaining that those people who they say that okay, religion is enough, we don't need religion and just be a good mankind, because they think that the purpose of the destination of mankind is just to be a good mankind in this world. But Allah is saying that being a good mankind is just the first level of your destiny, your path. You be a good mankind, and then religion takes you to your highest position. Being a good mankind, yes, that is good, that is compulsory for our religion, but that is the first level. We said that it looks like a computer system which we want to install software on it. If it has got virus, we cannot install any software. So being a good mankind, it means that the computer, our soul, is free from virus. It's the first level. And then now your system, your soul system is free from virus. Okay, now come in. Then Quran and Allah is going to install softwares in your soul, which takes you to your highest position, which is your destination. So why do you think as yourself just as a good mankind in this world? Be a slave of, be servant of Allah, and then see what's your position, what's your real position. So Suraitin is saying that there is no other way than belief in Allah and act according to His program. Otherwise, we will end up to God forbid, asfala safili. And in ayah 7, Allah is saying, فَمَا يُكَذِّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِالدِّينِ. So what yet calls you to deny the deen? There are some points in this ayah. One is that some translations, especially in Farsi, because I went through 5-6 translations in English, I didn't see that in some of the translations in Farsi, they have translated this that they have translated this ayat in a way that the audience is prophet, and Allah is saying that, so what forced you to deny the day of judgment? But in fact, it's not right. But alhamdulillah, in English translation, I didn't see that. They are saying that what caused you to deny the deen, and the audience of the ayat is those unbelievers. And another point is that deen, they have translated it as the day of judgment, and it's because of Malik Yawmuddin we translate there. We translate that ayat that as the owner of the day of judgment. Here they have said that the day of judgment. But in fact, in this ayat, because of the whole guidance of surah and whole meaning of ayat, if we get together and we look at it together, deen here has got its own meaning. Deen, it means religion, which even if we think about it of judgment, it can indirectly guide us to the same meaning, but the direct meaning for the first level of meaning which we deal in tadabbur with is that ba'du bid-din. Deen means the same as deen is religion. It means amanu wa amilu salihat, because we say tadabbur is every ayat comes after another ayat, they are connected together. And it means that what after all these emphasized and qasams and oaths Allah made and said that you will fall down to the lowest level as safilin, except you believe and do amal salih and do righteous deed. So after all this, what makes you still deny the religion? Still deny the belief and the program from Allah. But even if we translate it as the day of judgment, it indirectly again it takes us to the same point. أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين? It says, what makes فما يكذبك بعد بدين? بعد means after, and it said that after all this we said فما يكذبك. So what makes you deny the religion after بعد, after these ayahs we brought in this surah, after these rules we defined for you, that there is no other way to be safe and secure, to be away from asfalus, the way than amalu salahat. So what makes you still deny it? أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين? Is not the God, is not Allah the most judgment ruler? Is not God's rules the strongest rules? Is not the, and in some translation, is not the God the justice of judge? Again, the best meaning for this بأحكم الحاكمين, أحكم means strongest. Hakimin means ruler who brings rules. Isn't Allah the strongest who brings the most strong rules? Or isn't Allah is not Allah rule as God's rules the strongest rules? It means that whatever Allah bring as a rule, it will definitely happen. It will definitely happen and you cannot escape from it. So why do you deny it? You know that if Allah's rule, you can't escape from it. So why do you deny it? Another point in فَمَا يُكَذَّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِدِينٍ is that if we know Arabic grammar, there will be another question. If we don't know Arabic grammar, okay, if فَمَا يُكَذَّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِدِينٍ, the way I explained it, there will be no question for it. But in fact, in Arabic grammar, there is a rule that ma with present verb, when here ma يُكَذَّبُكَ, ma means كسي, who, okay, the who. فما يكذبك, so who you are to deny it, something like this, okay, or who he is to deny it, the person who is unbeliever. There are two different things for this in Arabic. I think I'm confusing you. I explain again. We have got two words for in this purpose, ma and man. Man is used for people or who is wise. Ma normally is used for what things and these things who they don't have wisdom. For example, if we want to say he is the one, if we say man, the who, okay, it means man for the person. But if we want to say about things, we say ma in Arabic. So the question comes in that, okay, if Allah here wants to mention person as unbeliever, why did he use ma? The answer is that in Arabic grammar, man is for person and who has got wisdom. Ma is for things which is they don't have wisdom. But in Quran literature, ma is used for both in two different purposes. Sometimes Allah wants to highlight something in a very high position. He uses ma. Sometimes Allah wants to mention something very low position. Again, he uses ma. For example, we had in Vanaksen Wama Sawaha before. Vanaksen Wama Sawaha. To the soul, I make oath by soul, Vama Sawaha, and who created soul in a moderate level. Or Vasamae Vama Banaha. What is ma is going back to here? To Allah. So because in fact Allah is very high and in his position is very high, so he didn't use man because man is used, for example, for mankind. So Allah is very higher than mankind, so ma was used. And here, فَمَا يُكَذِّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِالدِّينِ, the person who denies the belief, who is unbeliever, is very low, is in the degree of asfala safilin, is in the lowest degree. So even his level is even lower than mankind. Again, Allah is using ma. فَمَا يُكَذِّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِالدِّينِ. This one is not very compulsory to learn because we don't want to learn Arabic grammar, but I just explain very shortly. So if you want to study more, maybe you raise this point so you know the answer.
Sister, may I have may I ask a question? That you said ma is used for the person who don't have wisdom, and then
No,
you
not
said,
the person, sister. Maybe I use the ma is used for whatever things. Okay, for what is doesn't for what doesn't have wisdom. For example, things.
oh, okay,
Yeah?
okay,
Yes.
so yeah, I got it now.
For
Okay,
example, we say the thing, but
okay,
man is the who.
right.
Something like this, yeah. But
Hmm.
in Quran, it's not like that. Allah, wherever He wants to mention something very higher, in a very higher position than mankind, He uses ma, and lower position than mankind, which He wants to say that, oh, it's very low. Show the lowest position degree. Again, use ma. So there is difference. This different. But in Arabic, when, for example, we learn Arabic grammar in grammar books, we learn this way, that man is for a person or for who has got wisdom. Ma is for something which doesn't have wisdom. In Arabic, we say zavel uqul and qayra zavel uqul. The word in Arabic is zavel uqul means the owner of wisdom. Qayra zavel uqul means not owning the wisdom. But yes, because we don't want to go to Arabic grammar, I don't explain more.
Okay, no, it's
Yeah,
okay. Thank you.
no problem.
Sorry, sister, I've got one question as well.
Yeah.
No, you want me to wait till the
No,
end?
no, it's okay. Ask me.
It's the ayat number 5. You said that Allah is saying that we have kept them at the lowest level.
Yeah,
So
Radatna means we returned. Some we returned him. Yeah.
returned him.
Yeah.
So like like can we say that Allah has turned the mankind to the lowest level? Because
Yeah, yeah.
Allah
You know
said
what?
that
And
I've created at the highest level.
yeah,
Isn't it contradictory that at one point Allah is saying that I've created mankind on the highest level,
yeah,
that I saying that I've turned them on the lowest level? Isn't it our own fault that we gone into the lowest level?
exactly. Because after ayat number 6 is saying illa lazina, except those who. Yeah,
Okay.
illa lazina is those who.
Yeah.
Allah is saying that I have created you in the highest level, but then I returned you to lowest level except those who believed and did righteous deeds, amal salihat.
Okay. So this
Yeah,
is what the meaning of this is, that we return you to the lowest level, except those who believed and did the amle salihat. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know, there is another explanation for this, which we can mention here, but the main thing which in Tadabbur is they concentrate on this part. But there is another which I've seen even in Tadabbur course, they have mentioned that the reason Allah is saying Radadnahu asfala safilin is that when in this world we are in worldly state, and our mission is to go back to our main origin. You know, Allah created us with, we always say that Allah created, even in Surah Nur, Allah created us with the pure nature, okay, fitrah. It's like light, which is so clean, and the brightness is very in its maximum level. Yeah. So our fitra, when a baby is born, his or her fitra, his nature is pure.
Pure. Yeah.
But by getting involved in this world, we go down and down and down. But if from the first, for example, steps of our age of taklif, for example, 9 years, we do exactly we plan our life according to the plan of Allah, what Allah sent us, then we can get higher and higher and higher.
Okay. Yeah.
If that's not the case, if Allah has created us in the highest level, and we stay he keeps us at that highest level, which you say that Allah, okay. If he create us in the highest level and keeps us in the highest level, what's the point then? How can we progress? What is
Yeah.
going toward, what does going toward perfection means? What does this life means? What does all test in this life mean? You know what I want to say?
Yeah.
So
I understand what you want to say.
yeah. Yeah, because when we can create something complete, and it doesn't. For example, if he has created as he has created of complete, and if we didn't have choice, and he would keep our fitrat in the purest level. So what was the meaning? What was the point then?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So he has created us, but it is again the Allah is saying إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات.
So Allah
But you know, again, this goes back to that, maybe to that question that these days people they say that no, and especially I've heard in Farsi that and in Farsi now, Sister Aram, you have learned Farsi, maybe you understand. They in Farsi they say به تعداد انسانها راه به سوی خدا هست. They mean that
Yeah.
as equal as the numbers of people, there are ways towards Allah. So anybody can have his own way towards Allah. But it means that the reason is that they have extracted the wrong meaning of this. There is no other way than believe and act according to Sharia laws.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you can't say I'm believer. I don't I don't act in my life according to Allah's plan program, and then I can guarantee that yes, I reach the highest point and I meet Allah in the highest quality of with the highest quality of meeting. As we have studied in all surahs we have already studied, we see that no, there is no other way than obeying Allah.
So we can say that Allah has created us on the highest level, and then Allah given us the option to work towards it to stay on the highest level, or
Exactly.
we can not follow Allah and go down to the lowest level.
Yeah, to asfala safilin. Yeah, exactly.
Very much so.
Yeah. So it is the mankind himself who choose to fall down to asfala safilin or to stay in ahsana taqwim. Yeah, that means that.
Definitely,
Then
definitely.
by Alaysa Allahu ba'ahkam al-hakimin, because this question again comes to mind, that is it possible that we don't believe, or we say we believe but we don't do amal saleh, we don't act according to the program of Allah in this life, and we don't fall down to asfala safilin? Allah is saying Alaysa Allahu ba'ahkam al-hakimin. Isn't it that Allah's rule is the strongest rule? When he says something, it definitely happens. Yeah, for example, about Qawm Samud, people of Samud, we learned that okay, they killed she, that she Naqeh, yeah, they killed that, and then what happened to them? Allah punished them and destroyed them. He leveled all of them to the way that you could not even say that their land would exist in the world. It means that if, for example, lots of people are going against Allah's program, it doesn't mean that, oh, with some people say, oh, does Allah want to punish all of them? Yes, of course. Allah is not, in that those ayats, we learn that Allah is not afraid of his punishment, even if he wants to punish the whole tribe of people, whole group of people, and the whole land. How many examples we have in Quran that Allah punished, for example, Qawm Samud, the tribe of Samud, Ad, and all those, Qawm Nuh, and all those people, and destroyed all of them. So it doesn't mean, and now we have thousands years of Ghaybat of our Imam Zaman. Is Allah afraid of it, of that? No, it's based on our acts. If people in the world, they carry on acting like this, which they are acting now, yeah, this absence will continue, and Allah is not afraid of it. Which in Surah Hadith I explained in one of the majlis we had, but we haven't not in Tadabur course, because Surah Hadith is not part of this semester. But we have in Surah Hadith Fatal al-Amad. Fatal al-Amad means that their destiny will last and last, and this absence of Imam will last and last forever. Can last for another 1,000 years. Don't come to our sense, and we don't act according to the plan of Allah. What is plan of Allah? What is the program and planning? Is Quran. Unfortunately, nobody's and we just go recite Quran for sawab. We don't learn it and use it in our life. That's one of, for example, a simple thing is in Quran is one of the most important things. Infaq. And what is infaq? Giving away life and property in the cause of Allah. But when it comes to for example, the point of war and these things, if it's in the cause of Allah, how many families are ready to sacrifice their life or send their, for example, the children for the war? Even from between the believers, we see that lots of them are against war. Something I've told you many times in choosing president for Iran 4 years ago, nearly 4 years ago, lots of many people, they did not vote the right person just because the other person advertised that if I get the position of, if I become president, there will be no war. And just for that comment, lots of many people, believers, they did not vote him, the other person. So it is, and then they say that we know, we recite Quran and all this. Unfortunately, we don't study Quran, we just read Quran. That's the problem. So Allah, in Surah 18, Allah wants to say that there is just two ways, two paths towards, two paths for insan, for mankind. Sorry, there are just two paths for insan we can use because it's in Quran. In there are just two paths for mankind. One is believing in Allah and Prophet and act according to the plan Allah sent through Prophet, which keeps us in ahsan al-taqweem or takes us higher and higher. Or another way is denying and fall down to asfala safili, and there is no other way. Because when we say yukazzibuka, somebody denies Prophet, fama yukazzibuka. So yukazzibuka, cat goes back to Prophet that denied you. Okay, who denies Prophet? Who says Prophet Nauzaballah is the liar? What does it mean? He is saying that, okay, Prophet, you are Nauzaballah, you are a liar. It means that the Quran you brought from Allah is lie. So he's not ready to act according to what is in Quran, the plan Allah sent. And another point is that Allah is by this means that, okay, Allah is saying that except you do righteous things. If mankind doesn't do anything, it means that what happens? Time is going. Yeah, if mankind doesn't act according to what is in Quran, time is going. Time doesn't stop, but we have stopped. You know what I want to say? For example, that yes, some of our duties according to Islamic law, we obey. For example, we pray, we fast. I want to say that this surah, by explaining this point, which I'm going to explain, wants to say that this surah is not just to warn unbelievers. Even believers should be careful. Why? Because, for example, we are believers. We say we pray, we fast. For example, hijab, homes, and all. But do we really act according to whatever Allah has said in Fatwa? This is the thing, that there are different levels and degrees. So we should all be careful. Even if we think ourselves as believers, we should be careful. Because time goes, doesn't stop for us. And if we don't run in the same at the same speed as time is going, we are backwards. It means we have fallen down to a lower level. But I don't know if I'm clear in what I'm saying. That we stop in some level, we stop in some cases, but time is going, so we are backwards. So if we don't do anything, for example, now we are saying that we are reciting Dua al-Faraj all the time. And if we don't do anything, time is going, time is not waiting for us. So we are going to lower levels, because levels and degrees, they can be compared together. Every lower level compared with the higher level is low. So it's not just we think that, oh, this is asfala safil is just for the unbelievers. And last point again, I go back to those oaths, qasam, which Allah made at the beginning of the surah. Allah wanted what's the relation between those oaths and the whole content of surah. Allah is saying, oh, surah, by these lands which I sent prophets through those lands, in those lands, that there is no other way than the law and the program they brought for you. there is no other way than that to be secure and be away from Asfala Safari. And another thing is that the program which was revealed those lands, that's the only right program which we can call Amal Saleh. And another point that they have mentioned about it, that Allah, by mentioning teen and zaytun fig and olive, wants to give us warn as well that physically these are very useful, these foods, fig and olive. So because it is very important what we eat in our, even it can affect our soul. And by this, that's the point that we can get this from we can extract from this surah, that always we have fig and olive in our diet. That this is another point as well. Okay, may Allah help us to study the plan and program He has sent us, which is Quran, and besides that Ahlul Bayt, which these two comes together, and gives us tawfiq and opportunity to act accordingly. Inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. If there is any question,
No, I would think
you're welcome.
for me clear.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So I'm trying to start sending questions again, because I know if I don't send any questions,